May the force be with you is a phrase used to wish a person well to overcome a challenge. The invitation in this podcast, May the life force be with you, is to explore what it means to truly feel alive, to appreciate the physical, emotional and spiritual connection to our energy, and finally to understand how this impacts who you are and all that you do. May this conversation inspire you to thrive. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to May the Life Force Be With You. I'm Fiona.
I'm Kahreela.
How are you today?
I'm good. As anybody that listens to May the Life Force Be With You regularly will know that I had quite a big June. Quite a big journey with June. And I had a realization towards the end of June that really helped me make peace with the whole process. How about you?
Well, I also had a big June of travel and life events and illness and a journey with you too. So I can't wait to hear what your reflection on all of that was.
So if you remember, we did the Belly Up Power episode.
Mm-hmm.
I got some guidance towards the end of June that if you remember in Belly Up Power, it's like space, love, pleasure as kind of three gateways into manifestation and feminine power. And what my guide said is that what was happening was June for me was all about space. July is going to be all about love. And August is going to be all about pleasure. So it's like really taking...
Well, that sounds like a fun transition, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
I mean, that's a journey we all want to go on.
We're all happy to be in July.
Yeah. Can't wait for August.
But space for me is a very, like, I struggle with space. Hey, space is something that I have to re-relationship in my life because I often associate space with lack or emptiness as opposed to what space actually is. And one of the things that came through the guidance that I was getting in the last few weeks was that really space is about uncontracting. And being not in contract is being fully you and being fully free, like contract.
Freedom. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, like contract is how we get stuck in the matrix. Yeah. But it's also it's a way of being in relationship that is very, very Piscean and exchange based. Like we live in a contract based society, which is a contracted rather than a spacious society, And so I went into this journey of exploring, like, well, how do you uncontract? And what does it mean to uncontract? And
give you space.
Yeah.
Give me space.
And then the guides did this amazing... They did 3 transmissions for one of the Royal Star Gateways where they gave the people doing these transmissions statements that they called uncontracting statements. Statements to clear all contract. And their view of contract is it's when you're not in the peace of your choice, when you're in a contract and you're in a contraction with something, whether it is your own business, a relationship with somebody else, the universe, you're in contraction because of obligation as opposed to in the space and peace of full choice. And so they gave us these statements, and in the transmissions they went really deep into these statements, but ultimately they gave us one for the hara center, one for the heart center, and one for the head center. And I've been playing with them ever since. And the reason I wanted them to come on to May the Life Force Be With You is I'm like, these work. Like, you literally, when you do them 3 times, feel that center releasing contraction. It's super cool.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it. So
Please share.
The first one is for the hara. And the guides say that contracts in the hara, they really, when we contract in the hara, we're coming through like guilt and shame and the things from the past that we haven't made peace with and unforgiven. So, say you do something out of guilt, it's probably because you're guilty about something in your past, possibly even your past life body, just playing out again, and you've gotten into another contract because you have that guilt contract in your consciousness. And it causes the belly to tighten. And so the statement to clear that is, I was because I am.
I was because I am.
And if you say it 3 times,
I was because I am. I was because I am. I was because I am.
You feel your belly loosening.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly your belly goes, ah. And, in terms of I was because I am, it's everything that happened in the past got you here now. That's what there is just total acceptance and forgiveness in that statement of what was and what you are now.
It's interesting it's that way around. I was because I am rather than I am because I was.
Exactly.
It's interesting.
It moves the past behind you,
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
And then what contracts the heart is judgment. What contracts the heart is wanting things to be different from how they are, is being in comparison and ego and judgment. And so the statement to uncontract the heart is, the divine is happening.
The divine is happening. The divine is happening. The divine is happening. I feel that one the most. That gets me, that one.
It's like suddenly the heart just opens, right? Or becomes spacious about whatever is happening now. And then the one for the head. And it is important to do these in this order because that's belly up power. The one for the head. So what contracts? The head is the place of contract. Like the head likes to put us into contractual relationship with everything. It likes to compartmentalize and contract. Like the head is like the genius of contracts. Yeah, I do this for you. You do this for me. But that's all control. In many ways, the head is always trying to control what we are in relationship with. And so the statement for the head is relationship is celebration.
Relationship is celebration. Relationship is celebration. Relationship is celebration. I feel like that hits my third eye.
Yeah. Like opens the third eye.
It does. That's weird. That's why I felt that.
But what, you know, my guides say that grief and celebration are two flows of the same energy. And in many ways, it's like relationship is celebration, is literally celebrating without holding, without controlling, just in the joy of what you are in relationship with, in the joy of the connection rather than the control of the connection.
That speaks to me. Yeah.
And it's like, how often do we go into that? Like, I want my business to do this for me, or I want this from there. And it's like, relationship is celebration. Just being in relationship with your business, this person, this situation is, you know,
without having to define the contracts, without having to, you know, ask for a signed affidavit for everything, without having to, like, you know, everything be clear and agreed up front and bound by a contract, and which we tend to do.
Exactly. And if you are not in what the guides were saying on these transmissions, they were like, if you are not in celebration, you are not in relationship. You're in contract.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can feel that. You can see it in every form of relationship that we have. There is some form of contract or boundary or restriction that we're placing on our expectation of what that is, what it's going to be, and what it's not. And we place very clear contract on that without really, there's something about being present in the celebration as well. It's a now moment thing too, isn't it? It's a permission to be present in the celebration. Celebration is what happens now. Celebration feels current. It feels alive.
I love that you said current, because this is really about currenting through this, creating space in which to current within, you know, because contract stops the flow, stops the current, stops the flow of the soul, stops the flow of life force, stops the flow of the divine.
So one more time, say each for everyone as you move from the hara up to the heart and the head.
I was because I am. The divine is happening. Relationship is celebration.
And so do you suggest that people revisit that, you know, in the morning when they wake up? How do you bring this into
my guides were telling people in my courses and circles to do it 3 times each one. 3 at the belly, 3 at the heart, 3 at the head every day. But they were also saying that whenever you notice you're in contract, which means you're in contraction, tune into where you're in contraction and use it to break the contract.
And focus. Right. So if you feel it in your belly, you would use that. If you feel it in your head, you use the relationship celebration. And
If you feel like you're in a, you know, how you can tell you're in a contract is you feel contracted, rather than in choice, rather than in space. You know, it's like when you're in full choice, there isn't any tension, because you're not doing anything because you have to, because you're contracted. You're doing it because you are in full choice and uncontracted, and in celebration and in the divine and in the I am. Cool, right?
How beautiful. Yeah. So we'll put each of those in the notes so that everybody can go back and revisit and replay what each element is, because I've got a terrible memory, so I actually probably just need to keep replaying the bit where you say what it is. Forgotten already. Yeah, that feels like a really beautiful share for people to see how it feels. Try it on for size, and a nice reminder of, as well, that space, love and pleasure that we've got to look forward to coming up. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about the July love and the August pleasure.
Maybe I'll fall in love in July.
I think I will. Why not?
I think you will too.
Why not, right? Why not?
Why not?
Let's get that attention out there. On that beautiful note, I'll see you next time.
May the light
Bye for now.
We hope this conversation has topped up your life force energy. If it has, then please help us spread the life force. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. And may the life force be with all of us.